Hey everybody, I'm Aaron Simmons. This is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, January 6th, 2022. Well, it was a year ago today that I was out trout fishing, got back to my truck, turned on the radio only to discover that the capital of the United States had been attacked, that an insurrection had occurred, that an attempted coup had gone on, purely because of a lie told by a leader. Now, this is important in all kinds of ways, and there are political scientists and sociologists and historians all reflecting today on what this means and how we make sense of it and how we narrate it going forward. But I want to think about it in a particular philosophical sense, which draws on the work of J.L. Austin. Now, Austin was a philosopher of language who thinks about the way that words do things. They don't simply describe things, but they actively constitute reality. A famous example of what this might look like is when the justice of the peace or a preacher says, "I now pronounce you as married." In that utterance, something happens, something occurs. Reality is different as a result of the spoken words. This is important to remember as we think about January 6th, because there has been a narratival battle over the last year of how to describe it. You'll notice when I started this video, I described it in a variety of ways: insurrection, attack, coup, grounded in a lie. These are necessarily intended to be descriptively accurate, but also intended to be morally blameworthy. I am describing that event in a way that constitutes it as problematic and maybe even evil. Now, we know the children's claim that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We also know that that is false. Kids are traumatized by the bullying words of others. As adults, we are hurt and harmed by the insensitivity and the simple meanness of those who would prefer their own place in the sun, as Pascal says, rather than finding a way to invite others out of the shade. Words hurt. They can also heal. Socrates says that he prefers nothing unless it is true. Truth is healing insofar as it invites us to care about each other as committed to truth, as worthy of the truth. Unfortunately, we find ourselves now in a society where we still have a significant number of neighbors who deny the truth willfully or out of simply being deceived, who are describing January 6th as a tourist event that got out of hand, as a false flag operation, that it was actually a government conspiracy, it was the deep state. This is all something that must not be allowed to stand, because if we simply say and simply dismiss such descriptions as only a matter of words, we are failing to realize that a different reality is being constituted for those who affirm those words. Truth matters, and it matters because it opens for us the possibility of living forward in virtue. There is no way forward so long as we continue to allow our leaders to lie, to affirm them and prop them up out of fear of popular backlash. And if we lose the moral courage to speak truth to power, we instead have simply narrated power as necessarily true. That is dangerous, it is wrong, and we deserve better as beings of moral dignity. This is a hard day, Not just because of people losing their lives and being injured last year, not only because of the risk to democracy that occurred, but because we've now lived in light of a year where that risk has only grown, where that harm, that threat has only dug deeper in. And unless we are careful about our words, and unless we hold the feet to the fire of those who would use words that minimize what occurred, we are not worthy of the democracy that we claim to love. I prefer nothing lest it be true, says Socrates. May that be true for us. I'll see you next time, unless a piano falls on our heads.